Because if you look at him, he's relatively narrow. He's got a little bit higher insert traps. The chest is going to be shorter insert. And because he has not very much left to right thickness because of the more narrow clavicles, this chest is going to fill out quickly, but not be very big. But it gives him an advantage because this is him now. And honestly, this picture to me says 212. Like, imagine if his quads got this big and his waist stayed about the same. Like, you'd be looking at some Flex Lewis type stuff, right? Like, you'd have the bigger forearms. He has the ability to have much bigger arms, and he has the mass and the shoulders to be able to have that kind of a look. And you can already see the shoulders are starting to mog the chest already. And that's what happens whenever you become more of kind of the bodybuilder division, especially those 212 guys. They have a lot more of the more narrow clavicles, but then they just have saturation in the quads, making the waist smaller, and then they usually get crazy conditioning. If we look at our boy, he's made quite a bit of progress where he has significantly more mass, but he doesn't have really round muscle bellies. So instead, he's going to rely on that classic 212 conditioning. He's going to try to get a little bit more roundness in kind of the forearms, especially the calves too. He has a good vacuum. So I look at this and I think, man, if he could keep the waist small while putting on this much mass, like that's a pretty cool look. And then the lats, the chest, that has significantly more mass while still having good mass in the arms. So he's not going to be this roundness kind of a look. Overall, he's just put on quite a bit of size. And with that vacuum and being able to keep the waist relatively small while having the narrow frame, this could be very freaky over time. So I'm just saying, guys, like if you look like this, getting to this is actually a pretty big achievement. And if you bulk up and you don't look like this, don't try to be a mass monster. But like, this is the kind of physique that could become a mass monster. If he could get the forearms really big, and if he could get the calves really big, I tend to have a bias for a lot more of those distal muscle bellies being significantly more developed because it allows you to saturate your frame. Because look at that. That's what Flex Lewis did. It's the big forearms. It's the more narrow clavicles, the big calves. That's just what you got to do. So that's Flex Lewis. And then I think Lee Priest is no different. You might say he has a small chest, but it's just because his arms are bigger and he has narrow clavicles and he has a high insert chest. So of course his chest is going to look smaller. The arms are just going to look that much bigger because of his shape. And then just look at the legs. You need those big calves. Otherwise it just doesn't quite look right. I think our boy could have this type of a look.